Open your refrigerator right now. Look at the yogurt shelf. Those small plastic cups with the cheerful lids, the squeeze tubes your children tear open on weekday mornings, the quart-sized tubs you bought because the label said protein and probiotic, and healthy in the same sentence. You assumed you were feeding your family fermented dairy, the same wholesome tradition that sustained generations across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia for thousands of years. But tonight, a pointed investigation into what several major American yogurt brands actually contain reveals a product category where added sugars, stabilizers, artificial colors, synthetic flavors, and in some cases questionable probiotic claims have transformed traditional yogurt into something closer to dessert than to fermented dairy. Stop buying these yogurt brands immediately. That is not hyperbole. That is a specific call to action based on the accumulated ingredient analysis that follows. Your children deserve better than what most American yogurt aisles are delivering, and the tools to tell the difference are in your hands within the next few minutes. The plastic cup that looks like breakfast may be closer to dessert, and the difference matters. The authority framing for this investigation rests on several converging sources. The FDA regulates yogurt under a standard of identity that specifies it must be produced from cultured milk using specific bacterial strains, primarily Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. The USDA dietary guidelines recognize yogurt as part of a healthy dairy pattern, but note that added sugar content in many flavored yogurts can substantially reduce the nutritional value of the product. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugars to 25 grams per day for women and 36 grams for men, and a single 6-ounce flavored yogurt cup can deliver 18 to 22 grams of added sugar, consuming most of a daily allowance in one serving. The WHO has reiterated recommendations to reduce free sugars and pediatric dental, and nutritional organizations have flagged children's yogurt products, specifically, as contributing to early childhood sugar exposure. A 2022 study in the British Medical Journal analyzed sugar content across hundreds of yogurt products sold in the United Kingdom and found that organic, children's, and dessert-style yogurts contained substantially higher sugar levels than traditional plain yogurt. Similar patterns have been documented in American consumer research. The International Journal of Food Microbiology has published analyses of probiotic content in commercial yogurts, showing significant variation in viable bacteria counts between brands, with some products delivering therapeutic-level colony-forming units and others falling substantially below. This is the context in which we now examine specific brands warranting immediate reconsideration. The first brand under scrutiny is the squeeze tube yogurt marketed aggressively to children. The one with cartoon characters and flavors like cotton candy, birthday cake, and rainbow sherbet. The ingredient list begins with cultured low-fat milk and then reveals sugar, modified cornstarch, natural and artificial flavors, fruit and vegetable juice for color, and in some varieties, red 40 or yellow 5. A single tube delivers approximately 9 to 11 grams of added sugar in a portion size designed for a small child. Research indicates that early and repeated exposure to highly sweetened foods may contribute to lifelong taste preferences calibrated to elevated sweetness, and pediatric dental organizations have documented associations between sugary snack consumption and early childhood caries. Studies suggest that artificial colors, while FDA approved, have been linked in certain pediatric populations to behavioral concerns, with the European Food Safety Authority having required warning labels on certain dyes in products sold in Europe. The second brand is the fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt sold in plastic cups across mainstream grocery chains. The fruit layer, positioned as a natural addition, is typically a fruit preparation containing fruit, sugar, corn syrup, or high fructose corn syrup, modified cornstarch, and pectin. The total added sugar per 6-ounce cup often exceeds 20 grams, placing a serving of this yogurt on par with a scoop of ice cream in sugar content. The health halo surrounding yogurt masks a nutritional profile that deserves direct confrontation. Brand 3 is the drinkable yogurt positioned as a smoothie alternative for busy mornings. Marketed with claims of probiotic benefit and convenient nutrition, these bottles often contain 15 to 18 grams of added sugar per serving alongside thickeners, stabilizers, and natural flavors. The drinkable format encourages rapid consumption, bypassing the satiety signals that solid food would trigger, and research suggests that liquid sugar calories may contribute to weight gain more readily than equivalent calories in solid form. The fourth brand is the low-fat flavored yogurt, marketed with emphasis on reduced fat and calorie control. The fat removal has a hidden cost. Fat contributes to flavor, mouthfeel, and satiety, and when it is reduced, manufacturers typically compensate with added sugar, starches, and synthetic flavors to maintain palatability. A low-fat flavored yogurt often delivers more sugar than a full-fat version of the same flavor, undermining the weight management positioning that the low-fat label implies. Studies suggest that the demonization of dairy fat over recent decades may have been based on incomplete research, and full-fat dairy consumed in appropriate portions has not been consistently associated with the cardiovascular concerns once attributed to it. The fifth brand is the sweetened Greek yogurt, marketed for the protein-conscious. The one with flavors like key lime pie, strawberry cheesecake, and mixed berry. Greek yogurt itself, in its plain form, is a nutritious food, with higher protein density than traditional yogurt due to the straining process that removes whey. Flavored versions often add 12 to 18 grams of sugar per container, partially offsetting the nutritional advantage the higher protein provides. Brand 6 is the non-dairy yogurt alternative, marketed to plant-based consumers, made from almond, coconut, oat, or soy base. Non-dairy yogurts can be legitimate options for those avoiding dairy, but ingredient examination reveals variable quality. Some use minimal ingredients like almond milk, cultures, and a touch of thickener. Others include cane sugar, agave syrup, natural flavors, carrageenan, and emulsifiers that research suggests may have their own digestive implications. The plant-based label does not automatically confer nutritional superiority, and careful reading remains essential. The seventh brand is the adult-oriented dessert yogurt positioned as a healthier sweet treat, with flavors like salted caramel, dark chocolate, and vanilla bean. The dessert positioning is more honest than the children's yogurt marketing, but the sugar content often exceeds 20 grams per serving, and the probiotic benefit is largely marketing, given that added sugars may actually contribute to the growth of less favorable gut bacteria. The eighth brand is the organic yogurt, marketed with premium positioning and claims of superior sourcing. Organic certification governs agricultural inputs and processing standards, but does not inherently reduce sugar content. Organic cane sugar is still sugar, and organic flavored yogurts can contain sugar loads comparable to conventional counterparts. Organic does not equal low sugar. Brand 9 warrants particular attention because of its aggressive marketing to health-conscious consumers. Positioned as a functional food with added probiotics, prebiotics, and immune support claims, this brand charges premium prices and invokes wellness imagery. The ingredient list includes added sugars, natural flavors, and thickeners, alongside the probiotic additions. Research on probiotic dosing suggests that therapeutic effects typically require specific strains at specific colony-forming unit counts. And the probiotic dose in commercial-flavored yogurts may or may not match the doses studied in clinical research. Marketing claims about immune support and gut health can outpace the evidence that would be required to support such claims in a regulated clinical context. The FDA has issued warning letters to various food and supplement manufacturers over the years for health claims that exceed the substantiation available. Consumers reading yogurt labels deserve the same critical lens they would apply to a supplement facts panel. Understanding what makes yogurt genuinely nutritious, separate from the marketing noise, clarifies the path forward. Traditional plain yogurt, with only milk and live active cultures as ingredients, delivers protein, calcium, potassium, vitamin B12, and a population of beneficial bacteria that research suggests may contribute to gut health when consumed as part of a varied diet. Full-fat plain yogurt provides the additional benefit of fat-soluble vitamins and the satiety that fat contributes to a meal. The fermentation process breaks down some of the lactose, making yogurt better tolerated than fluid milk for many lactose-sensitive individuals. Greek yogurt, through the straining process, concentrates the protein while reducing the carbohydrate content relative to traditional yogurt. Skyr, the Icelandic fermented dairy, takes this concentration further. Kefir, a fermented milk product with a broader bacterial and yeast community, offers an alternative fermented option with distinct characteristics. These traditional fermented dairy products, when consumed in their unsweetened forms, represent a genuinely nutritious food category. The industrial reformulation of yogurt into sugary snack foods has obscured this nutritional reality behind a wall of colorful packaging and targeted marketing. The probiotic question deserves specific attention because it is so central to yogurt marketing. Live active cultures are required by FDA standards of identity for yogurt, meaning that all properly labeled yogurt contains some quantity of live bacteria. However, the specific strains, the quantity of colony-forming units, and the viability of those bacteria at the point of consumption vary substantially. Heat treatment after fermentation, which some manufacturers use to extend shelf life, kills the beneficial bacteria while still permitting the yogurt label under certain conditions. Consumers seeking probiotic benefit should look specifically for live active cultures callouts on the label, for products that specify the bacterial strains included. The National Yogurt Association in the United States historically administered a live and active cultures seal for products meeting certain standards, providing a consumer signal. Beyond that, research in the field of probiotics continues to evolve, with the strongest evidence supporting specific strains for specific clinical applications rather than a general health claim for probiotic consumption broadly. Plain traditional yogurt consumed regularly may contribute to a varied microbiome exposure, and studies suggest that this dietary diversity may be more impactful than any single probiotic product. Here is what your family can do starting tonight. First, conduct a yogurt audit. Pull every yogurt product from your refrigerator and read the ingredient list on each one. If sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, or any cane-derived sweetener appears within the top 5 ingredients, set that product aside for reconsideration. If artificial colors or flavors appear, move to the immediate replacement list. Second, transition to plain yogurt as your household staple. Purchase plain whole milk yogurt or plain Greek yogurt in large containers and sweeten individual servings at home with fresh fruit, a modest drizzle of honey, or a small amount of pure maple syrup. This transition typically reduces added sugar by 60 to 80% per serving, while dramatically reducing cost per ounce. Third, for children, experiment with the simple combination of plain yogurt, fresh berries, and a sprinkle of granola or chopped nuts. Many children transition to this version within a few weeks, when the sugary alternatives are removed from the refrigerator and the new version is presented consistently. Fourth, consider making yogurt at home. A half-gallon of milk, a small starter culture from a previous batch or a commercial starter, and an overnight fermentation in a warm spot produce yogurt at a fraction of grocery prices. The technique is forgiving, and the results are often superior to commercial options. Fifth, prioritize products with short ingredient lists. A yogurt label that reads milk and live active cultures, perhaps with a natural thickener, like pectin, is a different product than one requiring 30 ingredients to assemble. Sixth, read nutrition labels with attention to added sugar specifically, which is now required to be listed separately from total sugar on American nutrition labels. The added sugar number cuts through the confusion of natural lactose sugars in plain dairy and reveals the true sweetening burden. Seventh, teach your children to participate in label reading. A child who learns at age 7 to look at the sugar content of a yogurt cup develops a lifelong habit that protects their nutritional choices across adolescence and adulthood. You opened this investigation because you suspected something was amiss with the yogurt aisle, or because a headline suggested you needed to know. You close it with a clearer framework for distinguishing genuine fermented dairy from industrial dessert products wearing yogurt packaging. The 9 brands discussed here are not exhaustive. The patterns apply broadly across the category, and the label reading skills you have built in the last few minutes transfer immediately to any yogurt product you encounter. Your refrigerator tonight can look different tomorrow morning. One trip to the grocery store, one careful selection of plain yogurt, one bowl of fruit on the counter, and your family's breakfast trajectory shifts toward the nutritional profile that yogurt was historically designed to provide. Share this with the parents who pack yogurt cups into lunchboxes 5 days a week, with the grandparents who stock their refrigerators to please visiting grandchildren, with the friends who think they are eating healthy because the package says yogurt. The word yogurt on a label is a starting point, not a conclusion. The real answer lives in the ingredient list, and you now know how to read it. That small act of reading, repeated daily across years of grocery trips, becomes the quiet discipline that protects a family's nutritional foundation. Your attention is the additive no factory can replicate.